Hello, good morning. I'm Alan Dillon,
I'm Amy Dillon.
and we are Double D Travel. We are getting on here to talk about Norwegian. We just got back about a week ago from the cruise, and we want to give a few details and things we liked and things we didn't like about Norwegian. I'll let you start it off, Amy.
So we did do the Norwegian Joy. It's our first time on Norwegian, so we liked it. I mean, we didn't have anything really bad to say about Norwegian. Um, we'll talk about the ports that we went to, but as far as Norwegian, some of the little things we saw a little different than the other cruise ships is like their straws. They always recommend you bring your own straws because they're usually candy straws or paper straws. But for some reason, Norwegian had kind of like a plastic biodegradable kind of straw. It felt like using a real straw, so that was one thing that a lot of people were very picky about their straws, and Norwegian had great straws. The drink package was really nice. You didn't have to wait like some cruise lines, 15 minutes or so before you got your next drink. They allowed you to go up there was no wait. You could get 2 drinks at a time. Half the time they didn't even check your cards. They made very, very strong drinks. They had lots of variety. So the drink package was very nice, even with pop. Plenty of places to get drinks and soda.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that because that drink package with the free at sea, it is changing a little bit as of March 1st. So if you get the free at sea, which is literally free, you just have to pay the gratuities on it. So for both of us, for the whole package was like 300 and some dollars, which is very cheap. And that includes your unlimited drinks. It depends on how many days you're on a cruise. Like we was on a 5 day, it included 2 meals at the specialty restaurants, 150 minutes of Wi-Fi, and what else?
And I will say the 150 minutes of Wi-Fi for me it was plenty. I don't like to be on my phone. I like to be disconnected. But you could turn it on and off. So if I really wanted to hop on for a few minutes and check my Facebook or check a TikTok or do something, you could turn it on, and it averages about 2 hours. It says, but I didn't even use my 150 minutes. So for me, it was plenty. For him, he needs to stay connected more, so he had to buy the extra package. But if you're not on there for much, 250 minutes is plenty.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty good, and it also gives you excursion credits. $50 of excursion credits for one person. So the first person, whoever's listed first in the room, gets the excursion credits for every excursion you do at that port. So if you do if you can get 3 excursions in at that port, it's $50 off per person. Now, like I said, that is changing, and you can get the free at sea plus added to that for $50 a day per person. So what that includes is unlimited Starbucks drinks. You can only order one each time you go up, but you can get as many as you want. Energy drinks and fresh juices, premium wine, champagnes, and liquors by the glass, bottled water at the bar, and premium water, still and sparkling, in restaurants. Unlimited open bar as Great Stirrup Cake, because they took that away as of March 1st. We was almost one of the last cruises that's available on. 50% discount off the cover charge of any additional specialty dining. Unlimited streaming high speed internet. So if you get the free at sea plus, then that you don't even have to worry about your Wi-Fi, and plus prepaid service charges. So your gratuities is already paid if you get this package.
And if we talk about that package about the specialty dining, we did do the 2 specialty dining because we had it was included. We normally wouldn't pay for it extra, but it was included. We did do the barbecue restaurant, and we did the Asian inspired restaurant. They were okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't a fan of it. We wouldn't be excited to go back to do those 2, but they weren't terrible. They just weren't our favorite.
Now they say Cagney's and
Steakhouse, yeah.
Ocean Blue, I think, is their seafood restaurant. They say those are, but by the time we made our reservations, it was too late. We couldn't get into those, so they say those are amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, it was good. You did get a lot of food for your money.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't even eat the food that we were getting. So you do get a lot of food. So even if you get it included in this package, you might as well go try it. You've already paid for it. go do 2 different restaurants and try them. I mean, they weren't bad, but they weren't our favorite, but they weren't
Right.
bad at all though,
Right.
especially for the price. We did say that on the Joy, we did like their food. They had
Oh,
lots of
yes.
variety, really good food. I mean, compared to some of the buffets on some of the other different cruise lines, we were very impressed. We only
Very.
went to the formal dining one night. That was nice, but normally we have to get a formal dining to usually get a better meal most of the time.
Yeah.
But we were very happy with the buffet and some of the littler restaurants.
Well,
So
The buffet had an amazing selection. They had
Yeah.
Asian on one side, Indian on the other, and then in between those two, there was so much food that,
Yeah.
and everything we tried was really
very
good.
very good.
The crepes, they make homemade crepes. You can select the fruit and stuff that you want in them, and they make them right there fresh in front of you, and they was amazing.
Yeah. So talking about food, we did like the local was the
Oh
restaurant.
yeah, the local bar and grill.
Yeah.
It's a 24-hour restaurant. So
Yeah, so there was a couple nights we stayed way past our bedtime. So 1 o'clock in the morning we were hungry, so we all were like, let's go get some pretzel bites, let's go get some wings or whatever. So the local has a lot of good variety that late at night you're hungry all of a sudden, you can go in there. It's actually sit down kind of like a restaurant. You order your food. So that was very nice.
Yeah.
We did like that
that's
option versus the midnight buffet. Some of the other ships offer like a midnight buffet. So this was nice that you could go in and actually order some different food, sandwiches and stuff. So we liked that. We thought the ship was very clean. They were very professional, nice, just like most of the cruise ships are. We've never had a problem with that. They had good entertainment, just like the other cruise ships. We did do a show. We did do a comedy. We did visit the casino, so those were all great. Those were all fine. The one thing we found that we didn't like was they didn't hole punch your card. So your card that you used to get out of your room, purchase your drinks and stuff. Alan had a lanyard that needed a hole punch on the card. They don't hole punch your card. So we had to go buy that little extension so he could put it in a little clear thing. I carry mine in that little strap purse thing you've seen. So if you are going on Norwegian, I don't know if they all do that, but you may want to carry something else to hold your card. Or bring a hole punch.
And I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't like because they said they can't hole punch it because the magnetic thing in it, and you had to take it out of, like if you went to the bar in order to drink, you had to take it out of there so they could swipe the card. So that's the only thing I didn't like versus you just unclip it and hand it to them on other cruise
And they may
lines.
not all be the same on that, but for the Joy, that's what we experienced on the Joy. And then overall though, I mean, we thought our cabin at first was really small when we got in. We were like, wow, this is smaller than usual. We liked the interior cabins, but it felt really small. But by the time we unpacked, we still had plenty of storage space. There was cabinets and things that we didn't even use. But I was afraid we weren't even gonna go find room to put, because we always overpack, all our items. But we actually had extra storage space. So even though it felt smaller and looked smaller than what we usually get, it served us well. You're not in your cabin much, and we had plenty of storage space, even though I didn't think we did. We did.
Yeah, we really enjoyed Norwegian,
Yeah.
and we will go back on it again.
Yes.
We want to try one of their smaller ships because the Joy is one of their biggest ships.
Yeah.
We want to try their smaller ships and see if the food is as good because, like the older ships, we seem to notice that most of the food in the older ships on most cruise lines is not as good as the newer ships. So we're gonna try an older ship eventually and see.
Yeah, we will say we had friends that went with us that smoked. Their one downfall they talked about the ship was that not as much smoking area outside, like some of the other ships you have more of the Lido deck and areas you can smoke. On this ship you had one small enclosed glass enclosure with some chairs that you could smoke, and then they had a smoking section in the casino they could smoke that was enclosed in by glass. So for the smokers, they were a little disappointed they didn't have more freedom
That
on the
was the
ship.
biggest complaint.
That was the biggest complaint for them. But for non-smokers, it was kind of nice, like in the casino, when you walk by, you're not being overpowered by that smoke. Because I know that's a big concern for a lot of
A
people.
lot of people say
They
yeah.
don't like, because they can smell it into their rooms and such. So if you're a non-smoker, you might like the ship a lot better because the smoke is more contained. But if you're a smoker, you might not like the options as well.
They
But
said,
you have options.
They said you feel like you're in a box
Yeah.
smoking on this cruise.
Yeah. So that was about the only complaint I think most people we heard
Yeah.
from the people we traveled with and other people on the ship. But other than that, we like Norwegian.
So yeah. Yeah, we will try it again, so.
Talk about the porch real quick. We did go to Great Stirrup Cay, which is their private island, like he talked about. They do have the pier fixed. It had some damage when we were there, so we had a tender and had some issues with that, but that was just because of the water and the waves. But we love their private island.
Yeah. it was
Plenty
really
of
nice.
beach space, plenty of chairs. It was too cold for us. We stayed in our pants and our leggings and t-shirts because it was too cold for us to get in the water. But we did go out there and enjoy the sunshine. Very nice private island. We
Was very
we were
nice.
very pleased with our private island. We didn't get to eat on it because we had ate before we got off, but everything that we seemed wonderful for the private island. We went to Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. We went to Tahino Bay, and that was the port we went into, and that was really fun. We went out first and explored Umbrella Street, Pink Street, which is in walking distance. You don't need a tour guide. You're gonna have 100 people
Oh my
stopping
gosh.
you, offer to take you for $10. All you do is go a couple blocks over. You can see the cruise ship from Umbrella Street, Pink Street. You can still see the cruise ship. So it's very, very easy walking distance. There's police there
You do not
helping
need
you cross
to
the
pay them.
street. You don't need to pay anybody. No.
No,
You
but they will ask you 100 times before
Yeah.
you get across the street to actually get out of that port.
Yeah.
They will ask you 100 times, hey, we'll walk you. You don't need it. You do not need it. I'll give you more advice if you call me, but you do not need anybody.
Yeah, but the Tahino Bay itself, we came back and we did change in our swimsuit. It was a very nice, hot, warm day. It was our only really warm day on that
Yeah.
cruise. But they have a lazy river. They have several pools. They have like a beachfront with hammocks that we laid in. They have shopping there. They have food there. They have drinks there. Of course, your Norwegian card doesn't, your drink package doesn't apply there. It's just, buy your drinks just like you would any other port.
It kind of reminds you of Amber Cove.
Yeah,
The inside part of it is just like Amber Cove. If you've
but
ever been to
better.
Amber Cove.
I liked it better than Amber Cove.
She definitely liked it better, but it does kind of remind you. It had that
Yeah.
lazy river. It was a bigger lazy river.
Yeah, bigger lazy river. They had the flow rider, which I don't remember.
I don't
Amber
remember that
Cove
being
had,
at
yeah.
Amber Cove.
So some different things. So it was nice.
It was nice, and we both liked it better than Amber Cove, but it kind of resembled Amber Cove. So
Which isn't very far away, about 30
No,
minutes away.
yeah, but Amber Cove is farther away from town, so you have to get a taxi if you're going to go to Amber Cove to downtown from Amber Cove, but you can walk there from Puerto Plata.
So that's about it.
That's it. Well, thank you for tuning in. If this helps you at all, please like and subscribe to our videos. It really does help us. And again, if you want to book a cruise or you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to call me. My personal cell phone number is 740-808-2754. Thank you. God bless.